Okay, Ramblers, let's get rambling.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Dr. Nick.
Welcome back. When last you saw me, I was working on this box. Pull this stuff out of it. Got interrupted by a little possum crunching out there. My little girl Sally has been coming around for months. Little competition from this massive raccoon that's been getting very persistent in competing with the food that I put out for Sally. And little Sally and this raccoon have been going head to head competing for the food. Well, while recording my last video, I poked my head out there and took a look, and she was there. And as soon as I got done recording, the sound changed. So I looked out again, and she was out there, but so was the raccoon. Now, she's typically unfazed by the raccoon, but, you know, they're big, they're greedy. And although they don't seem to be confrontational or antagonistic towards each other, when I poked my head out this time and saw her, I noticed she got a bit of a belly on her. Now, either she's just eating way too much that I'm putting out, or that little girl got herself knocked up. And she's presumably of age. She's been coming around since, I want to say, September, and she was about yay big. She's been fairly consistent. And now she got a belly, so I don't know if she's just eating too well, or yeah, somebody got to her, because she's not huge. Her body is probably about, I guess maybe this big, which perspective, right? She's dainty, I would think, for a mature adult female possum. Certainly smaller than others I've seen that have had they call them litters? I don't know. Anyway, so filled up the food bowl again, because apparently splitting it or whatever, a lot of food had been taken, and it had already been emptied once tonight, presumably by the raccoon, because every morsel was gone, and usually only the raccoons are that thorough. So I wanted to make sure she got her share, and of course he was lurking around the corner, and I tried to nicely shoo him away so she could have her fill, but she ran across the street. We'll see if she comes back. We may hear some crunching noises as we continue on recording this last part. That's 4 minutes of possum ranting. So that's not why you're here. My other audience is here for that, and I'm gonna need to record some footage for them. We're gonna move on now. Next up in line, we have a Blu-ray from Kino Lorber, a blind buy. This is one of my rare exceptions, because I'm pretty devoted to buying Kino Lorber titles directly from Kino Lorber. They're my favorite boutique label, and I like to support them directly. This, I got a really good price on it, and you don't know when things are going to go on sale over at Kino, so I made an exception. I've kind of had this kick lately, and you've probably witnessed that if you've watched submarine titles and submarine films. This one here is Submarine Command. Yes, starring William Holden, Nancy Olson, William Bendix, Don Taylor. I've only heard of William Holden. This is from 1951, 87 minutes. B&W. That's B and W, not BMW, because BMW doesn't make submarines. So, yeah, presumably a World War II submarine film. Digging those, wanting more, collecting more, buying more, watching more. Looking forward to checking another one out. Next up, this came and went somehow in the theater, and I don't know how, but I completely missed it. Saw the trailer, made note of it. I'm always monitoring emails and advertisements for local exhibitions of films that I have my eyes open on, and, you know, for some that are just complete unknowns that pop up for me. So I don't know how this one got by me. Maybe it just didn't play at all locally, which wouldn't surprise me. My local theaters have been notorious lately by promoting films either in trailers or in posters in their actual locations that they never show. I like Luke Evans, and this is Weekend in Taipei. Why only a weekend? I don't know. What's he doing in Taipei? Well, he's shooting stuff, apparently, because he's got a gun in his hand. And that's okay. This seemed to be a kind of a over-the-top action film with an Asian twist, because Taipei. Kitty. Everybody say hi to Sugar. Pack for a long weekend. Ooh, is that a holiday 3-day weekend? Maybe it's Thanksgiving weekend. It's 4 days. I don't know. Haven't seen the film. Missed it. Gonna watch it. Check it out. We'll see. Blind Buy Blu-ray Silent Era. This will be my second Douglas Fairbanks double feature silent film of silent films. When are these from? Give me some copyright dates. Now this is marketed by Kino Lorber. See, I never really understood that because this is a Cohen film collection. I bought one, I think, off of Amazon last year. But I wasn't aware, I didn't read thoroughly enough that I wasn't aware these guys were actually connected to Kino Lorber. So I'm going to have to look this one up and see if it's on their website, because somehow I've never encountered them on their website that I can recall. And if that's two now that I have failed to patronize Kino directly from, then I'm a bad guy. 1922 and 1926, obviously both black and white. But these are Robin Hood and the Black Pirate. So this will be obviously pre-Errol Flynn Robin Hood. And some mighty pirate action, walking the plank and swashbuckling stuff, which I have the Douglas Fairbanks double feature from the Cohen film collection for, was it The Three Musketeers and Iron Mask? I haven't watched those yet either. So many movies to watch in so little time. We have a 4K upgrade of a film that's in the near 20-year-old range from 2002, complete with slipcover. This is a recent release, actually, and I was very happy to get this at a good, solid, under $20 price from Deep Discount. Ooh, over here. There we go. This is the 4K of Mel Gibson's We Were Soldiers. Excellent, excellent quality Vietnam War film. Highly recommended. Directed by Randall Wallace. Also starring Sam Elliott.
How do you know what kind of goddamn day it is?
These stupid little credits, which are so hard to read. Madeline Stowe's in this one. Greg Kinnear. Chris Klein. Kerry Russell. That's it for recognizable names. This is a film that I have absolutely loved since I first saw it. I've watched it many a times. Not too long ago, I think, got the Blu-ray of it. And of course, as they always do, guess what? We're going to announce a 4K. Is it worth it? I don't know. You all have getting a pretty good impression, I think, at this point of how I feel about 4K as a format. So I'm going to present another one. But this is a film I don't own. It's a film that I've never owned and only actually got to see for the first time within the last year as a theatrical re-release. And I knew of its existence, had no interest whatsoever in seeing it, was always aware of its cultural zeitgeist. So when it was announced for a re-release, it was a one show only. And I'm like, you know what? This is my time to see what all the fuss is about. I went, I watched, I loved, and now I will own Clue from Shout Factory. And I'm happy to not support Shout Factory directly because I don't care about them. I'm not a huge particular fan of them in any regard. I don't like a lot of their practices. But this movie was an absolute delight. And after watching it, I wanted to own it. And I think the 4K either came out shortly before or shortly after my viewing. So I don't believe this is a very old release, although no slipcover. So it could be older than I thought. I got it now. Overall, things considered, I got a pretty decent price on it. I gotta make sure that that has been removed from my deep discount wish list so I don't duplicate it. I think I pulled it off, but I need to double check. This here is something I stumbled across. This is a blind buy. It's a 2020 release, it looks like, on Blu-ray from 1945. I don't remember where I first found this, if it was an advertisement on Blu-ray.com, if it was on Groove, which may have been because it is a universal release, or if it's something I stumbled across Amazon just on a random sale. But this kind of thing is like really right up my alley, especially recently with it being a classic film of its nature. It is black and white. It is an action-adventure kind of... It's like an Africans... Not Africans per se. It takes place in Africa. It's a serial, 13 chapters, 219 minutes. It's kind of, I guess, Tarzan-esque. Maybe you'll know what I'm talking about if you see it. If it's something you've ever heard of, it's probably pretty obscure. But it's called the Jungle... Is it the? No, just Jungle Queen. My bad. Jungle Queen, Jungle Queen. 1,000 Jungle Terrors, 13 chapters of savage thrills, remastered in 2K from the original 35mm fine grain. That's an interesting way to put that. So yeah, I read the synopsis when I encountered it, and I was like, you know what? For a good price, I'll bite. I'll check it out. I seem to be amassing a small collection of vintage serialized titles here. I think maybe 2 different serialized Tarzan releases. Oh, I'm sorry, Sugar. Smacked her in the head when she was walking over here. Didn't see her. And I've got a few things here and there. I even got some old Superman serials. So, expanding the horizons, so to speak, because, you know, this Frank Capra collection ain't going to last forever. We're on the downward slope on that one. I think there's like 5 or 6 titles left. I think it has 5 or 6 titles. There's 6 more. Unboxed, unsealed, undelivered. That's that. Box is empty. We're all done. Thanks for watching. Do you see any of these? Do you own any of these? Questions about any of these? Recommend something for a potential future pickup? Again, the Word Box is your friend. We love the Word Box. Looks great with words in it. Put words in it. Thanks for joining me, and I shall see you next time. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.